Good morning, party people. I am still west of Portland. Man, let me tell you what happened. A week or so ago, one of my viewers seen that I had purchased a car up there in the Seattle area, and he thought, wow, there may be some things Robert wants to do to that car before he tries to drag that thing back to Cincinnati, Ohio. So he reached out to me, offered to provide accommodations for Diane and I in a property that he has located just off the beach here, west of Portland. And his thoughts was I could come here and relax a little bit and put this car together so that it would be safe and comfortable for Diane and I to continue to drive around the West Coast and then head back towards Cincinnati. So I took him up on that offer. That was even before I had really assessed the condition of the car. I think I mentioned to you guys that the car was mostly original, which is not a good thing for a 27-year-old vehicle. So I assessed things, and man, I needed to get a lot of parts to make this thing comfortable. I actually think that it's possible that this thing has never had a timing belt replaced. It had 109,000 miles on it. So that is very concerning. So I got here, ordered all the parts. They were supposed to be delivered overnight. They didn't. I initially ordered a few suspension parts that I knew I needed. And then it turned out, after looking at the car closely, that I needed a lot more than that. So I ordered everything that I thought I really needed to get this car back to Cincinnati in one piece. And man, because it's mostly original, it was a lot of parts. So it took us a day or two to get all the parts. After getting all the parts, I took care of a couple minor things on his vehicle and knocking out some major things on the vehicle that I purchased. So I did a lot yesterday, and he actually helped me do a lot yesterday. So we are, living comfortably off the Pacific Northwest coast. The weather has been phenomenal. Today, I will probably finish the last few things I need to do to get back on the road. I initially told this guy named Chris, I said, hey, depending on how nice these accommodations are, my arthritis may be bothering me. I may be only able to pull one bolt a day. And looking at how many parts I need to replace, I might be here a couple months, But he's a great sport, great host, and allowing me to take however much time I need to get this thing together. I would much rather be in the West Coast, specifically Southern California, Arizona area, where the temperatures in the 70s and 80s while it's snowing in Cincinnati. So, man, I might have been raised a fool, but I slowly learned that there are better places to be than in the snow. Not that I got anything against it, but if there's an option for some warm, nice weather in Southern California, I'm choosing that option. Not that, hey, there's nothing wrong with being out there, but it's a lot easier for me to help people and work on people's car in decent climate. I have no desire to be in Phoenix, Arizona, or Las Vegas, Nevada, when it's 125 degrees outside, trying to hide my tools in the shade, trying to work on somebody's car. If I'm going to reach out and try to help somebody during that time, it's going to be in the middle of January when the temperatures are comfortable enough to do that. It's just, it's just plain common sense. So there's no crime in enjoying some luxuries that this life has to offer with people that are willing to extend that grace to you. And hey, if there are things I did in 20-degree weather in Cincinnati, it's not fun working outside in 20-degree weather. Sometimes you gotta do it. If I don't have to do it, I'm not going to. I'm going to do it where it's more comfortable and easier to help people. So anyways, that's that. Got a lot of stuff done on the ride yesterday. Fortunately, it's a lot of stuff that this car was going to need to have done. And heck, by the time I get back to Cincinnati, only thing it's going to need is some exterior sprucing up. So all that stuff is being posted hopefully today or tomorrow, the next day. Today we're going to do a few minor things and hopefully enjoy some of the stuff around this community. He's got a nice, I think it's maybe a 68 P1800, the same kind of car that Irv Gordon had, very similar to it, that he uses for a daily driver. Irv Gordon, if you don't know it, you can look it up on YouTube, places like that. He put 3.4 million miles on his P1800 Volvo. Those things are made to last. Now this one has a 4-speed with a switch to kick it into some kind of overdrive or fifth gear, and he allowed me to drive that. That was pretty nice. We went around seeing a little bit of the view when we were waiting on parts, but today we're post parts, and we're hopefully going to do some photo shoots and some filming that I don't normally do, but you guys may enjoy it, so we'll do some of that. Now, the incoming messages have slowed down dramatically, so over the next day or two, I will finalize my travel schedule. Now, people are asking me, when you going to be here? I need to know a date. I don't have one. So, if you are wondering when I'm going to be in your area, this is kind of how that works. I publicize on my channel that I'm going to be traveling in a specific area. I go to that specific area. Sometimes before I get there, people will say, hey, when you come here, I need you to take a look at my car. I need you to fix X, Y, Z, whatever. And I help them get the parts, or they get the parts, and I get there and we do that. Oftentimes, people either don't believe I'm going to be in the area, or don't believe that I would help them specifically, or have not seen the video. Then I get to the area, and it's kind of shaking the bushes. People realize that I'm in the area. People realize that I'm willing to help. People realize that I would do such a thing. And then they contact me. So, example, this trip here, I absolutely had one person tell me that they needed my help 2 days before I got here. So my thoughts was, I'm going to get to the Seattle area. I'm going to pick up this car. I'm going to go help 1 or 2 people that afternoon. I'm going to stay overnight in Seattle. Then I'm moving to Portland. Then I got to Seattle. I publicized that I'm in Seattle. And now I have 10 people contact me. 10 turned into 20. 20 turned into 27 just in the Seattle area. So I'm in the Seattle area. I'm not going to be back here. Maybe never. So I'm doing my best to see if I can reach out and help those people. So if you were in Portland, I thought I was going to be in Portland Wednesday last week. It's Friday the next week. It's 10 days later, and I'm not even done with Seattle. So if you're in LA or Nevada or San Diego or Phoenix, I honestly do not know when I'm going to be there. If you're in Little Rock, Arkansas, I don't know when I'm going to be there. I'm going to take care of all the people that I can in the Seattle area. Then I'm going to move to the Portland area. Then when I get to Portland, to help the 2 people in Portland that's already contacted me, 6 more will let me know they can use my help, want to do a meet and greet, want me to evaluate something for them, want me to help them troubleshoot something, want me to help them put an engine back together. So my 2 days in Portland will turn into 6. My 2 days in Eugene, Oregon will turn into 4. My 1 day in Sacramento will turn into 5. My 2 days in Fresno will turn into 3 days. My 1 day in Bakersfield may stay 1 day. My 4 days planned in Nevada may turn into 2. So this is very flexible schedule that I have. If I'm in the area and someone contacts me, I'm going to try to help them. I'm not going to slice down a cutoff and say, should have contacted me before I left home on January 16th. If you didn't contact me by then, I'm not helping. That's not how my program goes. My program is, hey, if you're out there and you could use my help and you want me to help you and I can get to your area without any safety concerns or financial detriment, I will come and do my best to help you, whether you got the money or not. So that's where I'm at. So those of you that are in the Albuquerque area asking me what date I'm going to be there in the Albuquerque area today, I don't want to lie to you, but if you want to nail me down on a date, just pick one on the calendar and go with that, because I really don't know. It could be 3 weeks, it could be 4 weeks, it could be 8 weeks before I make it to Albuquerque. I simply don't know. I do know this. When I leave maybe the Flagstaff area and I'm headed east towards Albuquerque and nobody between Flagstaff and Albuquerque has contacted me, I will probably be in Albuquerque in 4 hours. And that's probably the best I can do. I just simply don't know if somebody else will need my help before I leave a town. Now, in general, I don't back up. I'm in this area here, fixing my ride. I'm backing up to Seattle. But when I leave Seattle the next time and go into Portland and go down to Eugene, I'm not going back up to Seattle. So those people that, for whatever reason, was not able to contact me or let me know that they needed my help when I was in Seattle, and now I'm 4 or 5 hours away, I'm not going back 8 hours to try to help those people. You say that's not 8 hours. Yeah, it's 4 hours up there, 4 hours back. That's 8 hours. I'm not driving 8 hours to help somebody after I spent 4 or 5 days, after I spent 2 weeks in their area. I'd never make it home. I just wouldn't. I want to be home. Diane really wants to be home. But we're out here. We're going to do what we can to try to help people. And, hey, hopefully you'll save some money. Most people do. Most people get stuff fixed that they've been trying to get fixed for 2 years, because I have the experience, especially on these P80 Volvos. These Volvos built like the 850s, S&V 70s, built between 93 and 2000. I do know a lot about those vehicles. Now, I had somebody contact me, ask me if I wanted a challenge. You can ask my buddy Jose back in the Baltimore area. That probably won't be as much of a challenge for me as it will be for you if I fail to fix your problem. So, I really don't want to get into something that I have no knowledge on. So if you got some kind of diesel truck that was made back in the 40s that you need parts for and need me to fix, chances are I'm not going to be able to figure that out in a few hours. And it may take me 2 or 3 months to figure something out that the proper mechanic can do in 4, 5, 6 hours. You're not going to want to put me up in a hotel and have me stand somewhere in a hotel or some kind of Airbnb for 4 or 5 weeks while I try to figure out some problem on your diesel truck that I absolutely know nothing about. So if you got a Volvo and it's something that I'm familiar with, or something that I can reach out to my mechanics and help us navigate through and at least troubleshoot it for you so you can know if it's worth fixing or help you get that fixed, I'm all in. But I'm not really wanting to get into things that I have no knowledge of, because when I get there, if I can't figure it out in a few hours, I got to get a hotel room. And then if I can't get it fixed, or I break something, or I don't have special tools to do something, we're wasting time. I don't want to waste your time, and I can't afford personally to sit up in a hotel while I try to figure out what's going on with some kind of diesel Mercedes Benz that I know absolutely nothing about. It's just not fair to you. And if it's coming out of my pocket, which I'm not going to let that happen, I'm not going to sit around for 4 or 5 days trying to figure out something that I absolutely know nothing about and pay for hotels, food, laundry, and everything else while I'm out here on the road. I can't afford to do that. I don't have it like that. I have not hit the lottery. I have not banked, several $100,000 so I can go out here and blindly try to help people. That's not a help, I don't know no other way to say it. It's good for me to help you with things that I know about. Probably not so good for me to get to where you are and try to figure things out. So, if you got a P80 Volvo, I can be a blessing to you. I don't want to get you jammed up or me jammed up with dealing with stuff I know absolutely nothing about. I hope you understand that. That's just the way it is. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and mix the video for today. We should be done dealing with my car today, tomorrow at the latest. I think if today's Friday, tomorrow's my birthday, which is nice. So I might relax 4 or 5 hours on my birthday. I'm sure most of you guys won't mind that. And then definitely get back up in the Seattle area Sunday, Monday at the latest, and get this show on the road. So that's where I'm at. I hope you understand. If you got any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm a pretty transparent person, kind of open book. I don't mind explaining things to you the way I make decisions that I make. Not trying to frustrate nobody, not trying to hold nobody hostage. By all means, if I'm not getting there quick enough, take that car to a mechanic or whatever you need to do to get it fixed. When I come through, if you don't need me, that's great. Or you can take care of it yourself. That's your ride, make your decisions. I don't want to hold anybody hostage. So that's where I'm at. If you need me, hope to see you soon. Hope I can help you out. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Kicking off the Tinker Day in Volvoville. Did a couple of experimental things with this battery cable. It's running fine now, but I think it's just trying to trick us. It'll heat up later and give us some issues. The P1800 over there, man, we're gonna go for a ride with that later on. Here with the new ride, we're gonna check, see if I need timing belt parts before I place my overnight order today. So let me get this cover off, see what everything looks like. If it's got original pump, man, I'm going for those parts, unfortunately. Hey, I went to pull a bolt out of the timing belt cover. Look at it. It's already gone. Just making this easy. Pull this timing belt cover off, and wham, original water pump. Don't worry. Looks like original idler. Let me get the rest of this cover off, see if I need spark plugs, and see what else is under there. I got really good gas mileage coming down here, about 29 miles to the gallon. So the spark plugs are probably fine, but let me see what they got in there. Man, I'm going to go out on a limb and say all this stuff's original. Look at those cracks in that timing belt. Unless this thing was done pretty early, this may be original timing belt. I've heard of people going 118, almost 120,000 miles on the belt before it breaks. This one doesn't look awful bad. Maybe it's been replaced once, but it's been a while. So I got to order a timing belt arrangement. Here's the plugs. The end of them looks pretty worn. We're going to check and see what the gap is on that. It looks like a 32, but that insulator is totally brown. So I'm going to order some plugs for the thing too. So oil cap leaking. I'm gonna order an oil cap gasket, and I already got spark plug wires. Probably need cap and rotor as well. Let me take a look at this air filter over here. Air filter is due as well. Look at all that dirt in there. So we're gonna do a full tune-up service on this car. Oh man, 70,000 mile service plus the tune-up. Let me get on this order page and put these parts in this cart. The morning walk. Got a little trail that comes out of the community down towards the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. Nice little trail. I would expect this to have been slippery, but doesn't feel slippery at all. There's tracks ahead of us, so somebody's already been down here. within minutes. This is a common walking path to get some exercise. It's a little more challenging than the streets that I walk, so I can feel the grind a little bit here. I'll feel it more later on or tomorrow. Incredible, nice view, fresh air. A little brisk, but it'll probably warm up pretty quick here in the next hour, so I'm doing great. Starting to get a little sandy. Nice soft sand. That's normally good for a workout. Yeah, it still looks pretty good. And there it is, folks. The end of the road. You will walk no more. The Pacific Northwest. In case you need to take a break and rest, there's benches. For those of you that are in the mood, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Oh yeah. Man, you're moving along better than I expected. You're moving like a young guy.
Yeah, I haven't got any quit in me.
No, I'm good. Very good. More pathway, more walkway, more scenery. We are doing good. Cooking with grease, baby. Yeah, we'd have lost Diane at that first set of stairs, I think. You know, she'd have had to kick back into her mountain climbing road. There was a mountain she used to climb twice a day. She says it messed up her knee a little bit. But here we are. There's somebody down there. A couple people with their pets. Japan is straight that way. Panning towards Alaska. We have a couple of arches, what they call there. You can barely see them through the haze. Then you got these homes up here on the ridge of the hill. Man, spectacular. And that's, of course, east. Now we're looking southeast. And the sun is peering through the haze there, kind of southwest, kind of south. And now we're looking at some, is those hills over there, right?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Cape Lookout is down to the far right.
Cape Lookout. And then we're facing west again toward the Japanese. And here we are, folks. Walked about a half mile up the beach line, a little bit closer to those arches there, and we have some rock formation here and more humanoids. So these rocks have hair on them. A little bit of sand in there, some hair, and then a few of the rocks have scales. Interesting. You can see a lot of things moving around on the water surface out there. And there's something draining into the ocean off the hillside up there. So that's interesting. There's a current flowing down into the ocean we walked through. Beautiful. And the wind is lower than normal, so it's very pleasant out here. Glad I didn't bring my coat. I surely would have been out of it by now. Look at those hills up there. The village of Oceanside, Oregon. Awesome. Some of this drainage path to the ocean is astounding. The details and stuff in the way the sand grains are and the water trickling through them. Very nice. And here we are, folks. About to take a ride in a P1800. If you don't know, one of these vehicles have driven 3.4 million miles by the legendary Irv Gordon. And look at here, man. Leopard skin floor mat. Cruising right along past the dairy farm. Smells like it. It's got an upgraded stereo. Temp gauge. What's this gauge here? Oil pressure?
Oil pressure.
And the fuel gauge.
Yeah.
Speedometer. And the lane tack.
Lane tack.
Is that the original steering wheel?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Hey, and the quartz clock.
Yeah. Take it on overdrive.
30 miles per hour. Coming into town. Getting a little stick time on the P1800, baby. This thing is a little Roadster. It's got those center caps that say VTO. Somebody tell me what that stands for. It's on the wheels too. VTO. Man, this beauty runs good. Running good. It's been a daily driver for like 40 years. Again, guy put 3.4 million miles on one of these things, so they can keep going. Have no fear. Got a little Scenic Point here. View. Neoconi Mountain. They shaved that mountain to get this road in here, that's for sure. Got some pull-off parking and an awesome view of the beach down that way. Japan off to your right. Little bit of haze, this ocean haze, but man, it is beautiful. You guys can take a pause right here, and I don't know if you can see that or not. Maybe you can.
A local guy, and he brought a horse and a companion, and the horse ended up coming off the edge of the cliff and dropping down to the ocean. He had to walk on foot the rest of the way down to to Tillamook. That was the initial settlers coming into Tillamook.
It's amazing. More about building this road through this little pathway, man. It's just, look at that there. The wall holding up this road.
You shoot straight up. So
gotta look at path here. Look at that. Coming down here. Along here. Wow. Don't go down there, folks. It'd be a little bit of a struggle getting back up here. Good Lord. Nice walking path here. Look at that. That's incredible. And then there's the ocean.
down to Cabo San Lucas, actually down to Mulahang. And I did several 10-day vacations where I would take the 10 days, 2 weekends on a 5-day week. Yeah, rode down to San Diego in a day, rode down to the Baja in the second day. Spend 5 days windsurfing, and then 2 days back to Portland and go back to work.
Awesome. Down the mountainside.
And I remember one time I went down with a 122, and I'd forgotten to put air cleaners on my SUs. And I thought to myself when I got to Mexico, oh shoot, I forgot to put those air cleaners on here. I'm going to destroy this engine, and I'm sucking dirt into the carburetors. Stopped at a little parts store in the second town, I think it was Encinitas, south of the border. Walked into the auto parts store, told them I needed something that I could substitute for an air cleaner on these two SUs. They pulled 2 of them off the shelf exactly right for the SU carburetors. The Volvos had a good reputation in Mexico at the time. So.
Nice. Big Wave Cafe. Tillamook, 27 miles. Little Roadster, baby. P1800. Woohoo!
She do run, run, run. She do run, run.
They do run, run. Taking some stuff out of the inside of the car so that I could start doing a little bit of work on it. First thing up is a dash pad. Sprayed it down with some Lysol. It has a minor crack right there, but it's a lot better than what I got in there. The ends had the tape coming off, the felt tape that hold it down, so we clipped that stuff on there, so when we go to put it in, it should slide in the channel right without hanging up, and it'll be good to go. So step 1 in the restoration. I had what appeared to be a crack there and a dime-sized dent. We're working this thing with a heat gun, and some of that stuff is coming out a little bit and looking a little better. So trying to get this thing where it looks like new again. Next, I'm pulling this roof trim off because I'm about to install a roof rail. I think this has to come out because the hole's back down in there, I believe. I don't see any holes anywhere else. So that's probably going to have to come out, and I got to get all this mud out of here and then vacuum that out on both sides. So let's look at doing that. This is the hole where the rear is going to go. Right there, I can feel a hole there, so I'm going to screw that right in there. They all got the holes, baby. Don't call me, tell me you can't find the holes, because they all got the holes. Then I'm pretty sure the other one's going to be right under here. I need to pry that up. Yep, I can see the gasket right behind there. Got to pry that up, get that out of the way. And then this one has a gasket too, so I'm going to pry that up, get that out of the way. And I got most of the mud out of here. I'm going to put this roof rack on here. This has some lot of extra sealing in here. I'm assuming this glass was leaking after they installed the windshield, because I had to cut a little bit of gasket so that those clips will go back in correctly. And man, all that extra gasket, it had to be leaking over here. So hopefully it won't leak for us. And somebody was scratching this thing, getting this on and off, because I didn't scratch it. So anyway, let me pry these out and get those roof racks started. Once you have that gasket off there, to find these holes, I take a Phillips screwdriver and I tap until I hit a dead spot right there. Then I push the screwdriver in there and wiggle it around and make a hole through the little gasket there. Then I peel that back so that when I set the roof rack up there, I can screw that in. That's the hole. Now you could take and put some cleaner on there and clean all this stuff off if you want. I'm not going to, because I'm putting these roof rails on here temporarily, and I will take them off when I get home, clean and polish the car up real good, then I'll reinstall them. Decided to clean the mud and moss and dirt off of these roof rails since I'm putting them on, and come and clean. Roof rails are installed. Just need to clean up the caps, put the caps in there, and one screw in the middle over there, but the rest of them are installed. Get my bottled water from out of here. So there we have it. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.